Hey everybody, welcome back to the table. Today we're going to play some lock and load tactical. This is Heroes in Normandy, and we're going to look at this scenario here, Carentan, or Carentan. Someone will have to teach me how to pronounce that. But this specifically I chose because it's one map. When I play solo, that's usually best because I'm such a poor rules rememberer that it's easier for me if I just play a small map with not a whole lot of counters. I don't think this is going to be a really deep counter mix. I've got them laid out in a couple stacks for reinforcements. We'll zoom the camera in here in a bit. So we'll see how this goes. I haven't played in a while, and I totally forgot to charge the camera, so I'm going to probably bump the power cord here that I've got off and on. And well, we'll see how this goes. What I wanted to do was make this kind of a prelude to the game. This won't be attached to the actual play video. I'll just upload this separately. So this is just some thoughts. So if you want to watch the game, you can completely skip this video. If you just want to hear some thoughts that I have before I start, thank you very much. But I haven't played in a while, and I forgot how difficult this game can be. Basic mechanics wise, it's not much different than you would have any other game, honestly. You move people, they get in range, you get some values, they shoot, and you see if you get to take casualties and whatnot. But there's also a lot of subtleties in there that a person can forget, and I do forget a lot of stuff. So I don't have being the solo player, I don't always have someone there to point out my mistakes. You guys do a great job of pointing out my mistakes. Everybody watching this, you leave great YouTube comments, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And this is definitely a game where if you don't play it for a while, and I feel like I haven't played this for a couple months, I feel like I'm almost starting over. So I do remember some things, but if you don't constantly play, then I think you start to forget things. Not saying that this is an overly complicated game, because again, the basic elements are there. You're going to move some folks. It's just trying to remember, like, what effects do leaders have on stuff. When you've got, I picked up the rule book a while ago, and this is the big one here, and it looks intimidating for a new person, but the thing is, this is good because this is a complete compendium of the World War II, the modern rules, and you don't need everything in here. So in here there's sections on, like, talking about medics and different things, but if your game doesn't have medics, you don't need to necessarily read that section. If you get back in here and you're learning about rooftops, railroad tracks, getting into some deep stuff, again, if you're not playing that, you don't need to read it. I haven't read the vehicle section yet because I haven't graduated from infantry, so it'll be a little bit before I have that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to hop back in, see what I have forgotten, and I'll try to pause in between things if I have to look up rules. And that could be one consideration. I know in previous games where if I was looking up a rule, I would show that in the game and have that on camera and kind of discuss what I'm reading and how I interpret it. And I might do some of that today, but I think a lot of this will be if I forget something and I want to look a rule up, I'll just stop the camera, do my little research offline, and come back to the game. Other than that, the only real special rules for this scenario, so we'll talk about the scenario now, is you have here in the special scenario rules, it says all buildings are level 1 only. Great, so I don't have to worry about rooftop rules. Then the Easy Company, the 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment, they have some fate points. Now they get 9 fate points. I'm going to track it with this 10-sided die. I'll just put it on the 9. And it says that they, before a roll, any moment before he or the German player roll a die, the American player can announce that he will add or subtract 1, 2, 3 of his fate points from the result. He must state exactly how many before the roll. Also, by spending 3 fate points, the American player can re-roll a bad result or have the German player re-roll. Alright, so that's fine. I might remember some of that, or I'll just burn through it really quick. And we'll go ahead, I'm going to save reading the scenario intro when we start the gameplay. But just some rules considerations here. I was looking, I didn't see if this said that it was nighttime or anything like that. So the special scenario rules, I'm assuming this is just like a daytime battle, which is good. There wasn't a whole lot of special rules. That's why I wanted to play this. The other thing is I'm not going to use spotting rules, so I'll make a mention of that in the actual gameplay for those who don't watch the Prelude here, but I'll explain why I'm not using them here. Again, as a solo player, when I've got perfect knowledge of everything, I easily forget sometimes about spotting. That is the one thing I've struggled with the most with this game, is remembering spotting. A lot of times it seems pretty easy, you know, if things are blocked, but again, all the pieces are on the map, so mentally in my mind, I see everything. I have thought about finding little beads or something that I can put on the stacks, just to let me know if it's hidden or not hidden. Is when you play like the computer game Heroes of Stalingrad, that's easy, you know, hidden unit, the computer removes it and tracks that for you. But here, because everything is always on the board, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just for ease of me, I'm just going to skip that part. Most other rules I think will be okay. And again, it's just remembering, like, I can crawl one space, or am I double timing it, and some of the different things you can do. I'm remembering those now, but as we play, there's a pretty good chance I'll forget that those options are available to me, and I'll just be moving, you know, how many hexes they have modified by terrain. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, you know, it's just a matter of getting back into the game. For future games, probably what I'm going to do is, Wargame Vault had, you can probably get it from the Lock and Load website, and I don't remember if it was a free or I had to purchase it, but it was a scenario generator, and you could make scenarios for any version of the game that you got. And I thought that was cool. And so I was thinking what I would do is just make my own small skirmishes using different maps. Because the scenarios, again, there's not a whole lot of single map scenarios. And for me as a solo player, I really enjoy just playing on one small area. That's me, a personal preference. If I play with a face-to-face opponent, then I don't mind if we kick it out to 2 maps or 3 maps or something like that. Totally fine. But as a solo player, I think I'm going to go this route because there's, you know, I'm running out of single map scenarios in the scenario book. Anyway, that's my Prelude thoughts to starting the game. I'll go ahead and cut it there, and we'll start filming the actual gameplay and see what we mess up from there. But, you know, I appreciate everybody watching, and if you stayed around to watch the Prelude, thanks a lot. You know, I'm not sure how y'all feel about the game, if you're still playing it, or if you've moved on to other stuff. I have a lot of games in my inventory that I do play on occasion that, you know, are also World War Tactical. But I have to say, there's just something, I don't know if I want to use the word magical. I don't know, I just come back to this. Even though some people could argue that this, out of my library of games, might be the most complicated I have. I don't have Squad Leader or Advanced Squad Leader, but there's still something about it that just kind of makes me say, you know, I still really enjoy trying to slog my way through it. You know, and I figured I should get at least one more game in, because the World at War Kickstarter should be coming soon, hopefully. And that is going to have a lot of game to it, and that might be what I start playing and filming a little bit more of, because that's going to be huge. So if you have a chance, go look at the Kickstarter for the World at War 85, the latest Lock and Load, and you'll see that if you missed it, go check it out. Not to rub it in what you missed, but just to show you that they've put a lot of effort behind that Kickstarter, and I don't know if I'll be able to do another Kickstarter for a while, because I'll be playing that a lot. But anyway, I want to get one more game in here, and if you guys like this, I will be happy to do, like I said, make my own little scenarios and just have little get-togethers with you guys and walk our way through Heroes of Normandy. I don't know if I would actually be good at like a live game. I know Todd Reed, he's done some stuff, Itinerant Hobbyist, some live stuff that I thought is kind of fun to watch. I think Kev Sharp has done some live stuff. where mostly it's just kind of chatting while we push counters around. I don't know if I've hit that status of people wanting to watch me play something live and just kind of hang out, but until that time, you know, maybe little short games. But anyway, like I said, I think that's enough rambling. I'm going to reposition the camera and we'll zoom in and start playing. Like I said, please excuse the cord. I forgot to charge the camera, and even if you charge it completely, at some point the battery kind of drains quickly, so I haven't quite figured out how to get the cord completely out of view, but you know, we'll do what we can to keep things looking pretty. Alright, anyway, thanks a lot, and next time we talk, we'll be in the game.